Alright, this is going to be a follow-up video on the jump indicator episode. Mostly because I don't think that really explains every single issue I have with it. I'm also a little bit sick, so it might be a little difficult, but I'll still try and pull through. So for starters, jump indicators are supposed to make a level more sight readable, right? But it's literally the worst way to do it because it completely misunderstands sight readability. That's the whole point I'm trying to make. Because like it's a sight readability, right? The whole point of why people push it is so that the level is fair, right? You wouldn't want to put a jump that is completely off screen because you won't know what the hell is there. Jump indicators still do not fix this issue because most of the time you're going to already see the jump. Like if I were to move this, right, you would already know to jump here, right? Just by looking at the level. And in the case of where something is off screen, jump indicators aren't going to do that because for you to see the jump indicator, the jump already must be on screen, right? And let's say it still isn't, but I do put some sort of indicator telling you to hold, right? This still isn't fair because let's say you're in a fast-paced section, right? You're not gonna see every text, right? Especially if it's like small and like opaque like this. So chances are you might not even see this. Second, this still doesn't tell you everything about the jump because maybe you're not supposed to hold for very long, or maybe you're supposed to hit this orb a little later. Let's say if the spike was here instead, you know? Ah, the calendar. At the end, I just feel like jump indicators, like the whole reason why anyone would put them is to appeal to the wrong audience with their levels. All it does is just make it so it's easier for you to just go through the level without thinking about it and then forget about it literally the next minute, which is not what you should be doing in level creating at all, especially with the gameplay. Like don't like I feel I think okay, I'm gonna get to that later to make this a little more organized. Um, Now this point right here, I've seen this a lot in the levels where people would just spam jump indicators, but still have certain gameplay features obscured, which is the opposite of sight readability. Like for an example, in the video, I had this green orb be behind the speed portal, so that any unsuspecting player wouldn't even know that it's here. But now this seems like a pretty obvious thing to do, right? To just put it above the speed portal. But this is still an issue where people would just put orbs behind portals and not and like and not even think of pulling it above it, which I still don't know why this is still like a problem at all, because it's such an easy thing to fix. Same thing goes for obscuring portals. Surely all have seen at least some example of this, so I don't have to explain it too much. And what many creators do, they just spam jump indicators everywhere, and they don't even bother to check things like this. I already said this, that jump indicators are largely unnecessary. Okay, here I split it into how it hurts both players and creators. For starters, I've seen a point in that jump indicators help new players teach. You're gonna hear my fan. Teach new players about the gameplay. Now, for an example, the video I watched was mostly on Swingcopter, right? About how, oh, it's good to put some jump indicators here and there so people get more used to it. That is just straight up wrong. So let's say you're learning addition, right? And instead of the teacher teaching you how to do it, they just give you all the answers in the end. Will you know how to do addition after that class? No, because you never even tried it yourself. Like, you're not going to learn the game by looking at by the level telling you exactly what to do at every single point. That's just not gonna happen. You're just going to build up an over reliance on jump indicators so that now if you ever have to learn a level yourself, it's going to be really, really difficult because you never had to before. Also, it makes you look at the level less. You like when I play a level and like level, right? If you are going to sight read a level, right, you have to look at the level and what the creator has made. But if there's just jump indicators, you're just going to be looking at them instead of anywhere else in the level. So, yeah, that's the point. It also goes against the core of Geometry Dash, where if you are struggling with a level, you have to use practice mode. You have to practice a level to beat it, which is not a bad thing. I feel like mainly in 2.1, like, I feel like if you have to use practice mode, like, that's seen as a bad thing in a level, which is kind of dumb, especially for harder levels. Maybe not so much. Maybe it depends if you're, like, playing an easier level, but definitely not in, like, a harder level, right? Where people complain about it being learny. Like, yeah, that's the point. You're supposed to learn the level to play it. Anyway, next is the creating section, which I think I have more developed opinions for. I've played a lot of demons that they just fucking suck. Like the Galaxy Gauntlet, for an example. Every single level except for, like, I believe the third one have all their gameplays just complete shit. Okay, maybe that's a little rude, but like they're like it felt like they just didn't care about it, you know? Like they just put jump indicators and hope, and like it felt like the level was like really hard to see. Like I felt like they just put jump indicators and called it a day, which really didn't help at all. Like there's like fizzy fossils, for an example. There's a lot of things that will kill you, but they don't actually look like they would kill you, you know? If you play the Gauntlet levels, you probably know what I'm talking about. But yeah, because what actually makes a level sight readable is the structuring of your level. And if, let's say, a creator decides to just put jump indicators to make their level sight readable, then their structuring is going to be fucking janky, obviously, because they didn't put any effort into it, which in turn makes the gameplay completely garbage, you know? And I feel like a lot of creators need to like think about the learning process. I feel like that just overall makes your levels more engaging. Like play a Carmel level, for an example. Play like Rearmed. Like like Carmel gets a lot of hate, I don't know. Like I feel like Rearmed, for an example, like the duel, a lot of people don't like it because like it's confusing, but like that's the point of you know, that's the point of some levels. And if you learn it, it becomes really good. That the Rearmed duel is like probably one of the most satisfying parts of the level, because like it feels weird to do, but once you do it, you feel really good about that because you just learned a pretty complicated thing from scratch. And that overall makes the player spend more time with your levels, and overall just makes your levels more fun. I don't think I articulated that well, but still, basically what all these points here is that you shouldn't be afraid of experimenting with your gameplay, right? And I feel like the more experimental your gameplay is, the less effective jump indicators are going to be. How should I say this? I should have thought about this a little more. But yeah, jump indicators only work if the gameplay is already simple, and if people experiment for too long, there's going to be a lot of people complaining about how they can't fucking beat the level or something, which is, again, the wrong audience you should have. That it's the wrong people you should be catering to when making gameplay. Like, oh, people suck at making UFO gameplay. I have touched on this here, where a lot of jump indicators in UFO gameplay, like, they're not exactly clear. Like I've run into so many jump indicators in UFOs where, like, if you, like, click just a little bit higher, you die, which is what this whole point of this part is, that jump indicators are still vague in themselves. And if you were to, like, die to a jump indicator, your chances are you're going to go back and just click at that place again instead of just making your own, finding your own click pattern you're comfortable with, which I feel like a lot of creators are way too strict about their click patterns for some reason. I don't really get that. Like, I feel like you should encourage your player in finding their own way through their levels, right? You shouldn't, like, if someone finds a skip, like, that shouldn't be a bad thing. Like, unless if, like, let's say the skips a pretty crucial part of your gameplay, then that's probably what you should, maybe you should consider fixing that. But, like, a lot of time, if there's, like, just, like, oh, they skip an orb, there's no real reason for you to change anything about that section at all, you know? Yeah. Overall, if you want to make your levels sight readable, focus on structuring and visibility, because that's what actually tells you what to do in your level. Not knowing where to jump. There's so much to playing a level than knowing where to jump, you know. And overall, it just makes your gameplay more better. You'll learn how to make better gameplay, and you'll learn how to make more creative gameplay too, you know? If you don't put all these restrictions on yourself to put jump indicators, now you have to worry more about how your level is sight readable. You know? You just become more conscious of that aspect of your layout. I don't think I said anything in this part clear. I'm not really that good at making these types of videos, but I hope my point is still clear. I don't know. And finally, jump indicators don't fix this spider glitch. I don't remember putting this in this level. What the hell does this mean? Well, I'm assuming I want myself to put a start position here and click at this jump indicator. Huh. What the fuck?